In this video, we are going to look into the Microsoft Defender for Cloud and how to onboard subscriptions. I am on the Azure portal. How do you navigate to the Microsoft Defender for Cloud? This is where this is tightly integrated with the Azure portal. So you just click on the Microsoft Defender for Cloud. And as soon as you click it, you will land on this particular page. Okay. This shows a dashboard. Now, the kind of details that you see here will depends on your configuration. So this is a kind of like a default state. I haven't done anything, but what is very essential to understand before you think that you are using Microsoft Defender for Cloud. By default, some of the things comes automatically and it is monitor, which is part of the free CSPM. But some of the things that you need to configure to get that working rightly, and that's what we're gonna cover rightly here. Click on the environment setting under management. That's where you will see that the number of subscriptions, right, underneath your tenant. So whatever subscription that you will have under your tenant and you have access, you would be in a position to see those subscription here. Now here in this case, you can see that I just got one subscription. And what is essential to understand here, Defender coverage, right? It says 0 out of 0 plans. That means this subscription is not basically onboarded yet rightly to the Microsoft Defender for Cloud. So first thing is that whatever the subscription that you want to monitor, you have to bring that under the Microsoft Defender for Cloud. And this is where some kind of cost implications you need to understand rightly. So let's go ahead and click on this subscription. Okay, and this is where you're gonna choose the Defender plan rightly. All right, let the things pop up. Now here you can see there is a CSPM plan and there is a CWP plan. So we discussed CWPP. That is what it is, CWP. Cloud Workload Protection. This is a Cloud Workload Protection platform and this is CSPM platform, right? So CWP, you got a number of plan for a different services and the pricing associated with it, right? And CSPM, you got free and you got billable plan. So this is what actually enabled by default, but this is where you would basically enable when you want to make use of the Microsoft Defender. All right, and what it comes, you can take a look. Okay, these are the things that would be enabled, such as like agentless scanning for machines, right? Kate API access, registry access, and CIEM, which is permission management. A lot of things there to digest actually. So you might need to get to the detail what it is. If you are a security guy, you can understand very quickly. If you're not a security guy, you might have some time to digest what it's saying exactly, right? But this is where you can enable those plans. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing related to the CWP. The first one, maybe you may not, because you might have some different antivirus and anti-malware software in place instead of Microsoft Defender for Endpoint. So you may not go with this one, but rest of them, I'm sure, you will go with to protect your cloud resources. So you enable the plan something like this. All right. So you just enable just something like this. All right. Nothing fancy, nothing difficult, but what is essential to understand, some of the plans have some more other plans, such as like let's say, for example, let's see what is we can see in the container. Okay, in container, even though you select, there are some of the things that you need to configure properly. I feel that it is again changed, because I can see that most of them coming as on now by default. Previously it wasn't the case. So this area keep changing a lot. So you just need to make sure that what you see and have a kind of onboarding processes accordingly. SQL database, I can see now all of them coming as on, but previously I noticed that some of them wasn't like that. So maybe I think you switch it off once again like that, and then it makes it off, right? This one off, this one off, this one off. Okay, like that. So once you selected the plan, then you might go to the security policies that you would like to apply on this particular subscription. Now, what are the security policies? Let's see. Let's unpack once we see that one. Actually, it would be some kind of regulatory compliance, and you can see the list. These are regulatory compliance that you can apply on your workload. Okay, so by default, Microsoft Cloud Security Benchmark is enabled. And let's see what else is enabled. No, I don't see anything else is enabled. And Azure CSPM, it's in preview, which is coming up, right? This area is also evolving, so you might see every time you come, you see something else. Previously, I used to see only 4-5 there, but right now I can see the list is getting bigger and bigger. Okay. These are the regulatory compliance that you would like to enable for your workload, depending on your regions or type of sensitivity, right? Then some of the things here, notification to whom like a depender should send the notification for some of the things. You can just scan through and provide those details accordingly, or you might want to export these details to the log analytics or event hub. For external system integration, you use the event hub, and maybe for Microsoft Sentinel you would use log analytics. Okay, so it's all I think self-explanatory. You just need to go ahead and provide the detail accordingly, nothing more than that. But this is where you export to the external system or to the log analytics actually. So those are the things, that's something you have to configure. It is not configured by default, right? That is the essential thing to understand. Then for the analysis, this is the area. Attack path analysis, this is what you're going to use. Security alerts, this is what you're going to use. And Cloud Security Explorer, this is what you're going to use. Workbook is what you're going to use, right? Again, it's not something like that I can just tell you and you understand, the details. It is always better to come here, experience it, make sure that you align with, the attack path analysis. You align with like a Cloud Security Explorer, how to make use of those, right? Using a query templates and the inbuilt workbook that is provided, right? I don't see much here, but yeah, there could be some free workbooks available as well. Yeah, there you go. Some of them are there. Is always, I think this area is evolving. Every time you come, you see something else, right? And what I noticed that this is the service which is always what I can see, something new brings, right? Is always basically changing. This service has a lot more impact, right? And other things like a security solution, workflow automation, when you become a lot more advanced, you would in a position to tap whatever those capability that depender for cloud provides to you, right? But what is essential in this particular video to understand that you have to onboard the workload. Unless you onboard workloads, you won't be in a position to see the right alerts here. By default, very few things comes. But yes, for workload protection, you need to go ahead and enable. And is this the only product available in the market? No, not at all. There are multiple products, and we already discussed as part of the video, right? Like a Prisma Cloud and all that. And if you using any other product for the CSPM or the CWP, then you know what, you're not going to onboard the Azure workload to this. Okay, so that's something you need to understand within your organization actually, and it is driven by mostly the, I think, security team, not you. So that's pretty much. I won't drag this video a little longer, but yeah, these are the things I just wanted to make sure that you're understanding as part of the Azure fundamental, and then take it from there, build on top of it, whatever the expertise that you would like to build. All right, that's all pretty much here.